So blockchain is a very interesting thing, and I think as it becomes like AI, we've talked a little bit about that. You've kind of sprinkled that in a little bit as well. But blockchain is sort of one of the it's a concept that we get asked about constantly because what is it? People are really excited about it. I don't want to get over my skis too much. I'm not necessarily the technical person, but what I will say about blockchain and what I find fascinating about it is the capability to basically um, provide recognition for an individual that they can then not tamper with, and that it can be out there in the world and they can share. So, one of the things that I find fascinating about where blockchain can take us from a talent perspective is it can anonymize potentially some of the things that we don't necessarily need to share, and will allow an individual to share the kinds of things that they want to about their skills and competencies. So as an example, if somebody earns a credential or somebody has gone through a course or something like that where they have a specific skill set, they've been recognized by the authority, that credential can be written to a blockchain so that yes, somebody's earned it, and that's where it gets placed. So that's where a little bit where digital badging kind of also jumps into, is recognizing somebody for something that they've done in a way that cannot be tampered with, that can be out there in the world, and that they can share. So it's portable. It's also public. It's also meaningful. So when we think about where how to recognize somebody for those things, that's a company like ours. That's what we do, is we sit between the issuing organization and the individual, and we become sort of that verification piece of that. And so what we find interesting about blockchain is that we can use the digital badging concept and write to the blockchain so that somebody can then have it. It's distributed, obviously, so it's tamper proof, and they can then share that both with employers or in the broader sense. So when I think about what the possibilities are, is when we think about licensure and credentialing, it can be literally anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the world of work. It could be things like my driver's license, or it could be certainly something like my medical records, or something like the my insurance and my financial records. So if I have all those that data and it's put on a block, on the blockchain, I'm able then to share it with whomever I choose, and I can potentially redact my name or redact some of the other aspects of my personally identifiable information, and share just the relevant pieces with whomever I choose to with a key. And so what I find so interesting about where this could possibly go is that, as a woman who wants to get hired, if there's any bias in the work world, I could potentially just say, here are the things that I've earned. Here are the things that I've done. Here are the authorities that have said I'm capable of doing this. You don't necessarily need to know about my background. You don't need to know about my ethnicity. You don't need to know about any of those things. You just need to know whether I'm capable of doing these things or not. So I find that that's where the space could potentially go, is anonymizing some of the information, but and only showcasing the things that an individual wants to showcase. I think of, just a weird example would be, if I'm going to a bar, I don't have to show the bartender that this is where I live and this is my DMV number and all the other things. I just have to show them that I'm 21. So I see that as kind of the most interesting part of where the blockchain technology can take us, is this capability of showcasing just the information that I need to showcase in order to show that I'm capable of doing whatever it may be. Like, I'm just 21. That's all you need to know about me, and then I'm ready to go. So I think that piece of the technology is so fascinating. It's not there yet. And that's, I think the other piece of that, certainly we could share things to the blockchain. There's no way of reading it right now. We're looking at different technologies of wallets and portfolios and things like that to be able to, basically deliver that information or showcase that information. So I see that is where some of the pieces of the industry are going. But certainly today, the tool that organizations have used, and that's again part of our business, is digital badges are serving that need right now. And from our business standpoint, we're moving towards blockchain technology to be at the forefront of what's possible.